Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, Friday, October 28th, 2016, the big news headlines were that the FBI has reopened their investigation into Hillary's emails because they found an email that was connected to her former staffer, who was the wife of Michael Weiner, the disgraced congressman for the sexting misconduct in the past and the more recent. In just recent months, at the end of August, it came out that he was sexting a underage teenager. So anyway, they're saying that's the reason they're reopening the investigation. But really what's going on is it's just more propaganda to stir people up, to divide them. Look at what we have as a nation. We have two people who are ready to vote based on who they hate more. The people who support Donald Trump, they really don't care that much about Donald Trump. It's more that they just hate the opposition, Hillary Clinton. People who support Hillary Clinton, they don't even exist. But because the elections are rigged, because all the numbers that matter are what are reported on TV and in the papers, people just let things go on. Bernie Sanders had monumental support. He would be the Democratic nominee if the elections were just. There's not much excitement or support for Hillary Clinton anywhere. I live up here in Seattle, liberal Democratic territory, very, very low buzz for Hillary Clinton. But there's still a ton for Bernie Sanders. I bet you if you could really count the votes when they're all sent in by the nation, I bet you Bernie Sanders gets more votes than Hillary Clinton. But anyway, what people don't get is the news just makes up propaganda to provoke people, to anger them, to divide them, such as Hillary's email story. I mean, Hillary's emails, people, this is a non-story. We live in a nation with very real corruption, very real problems. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, these are two people that are part of that corruption. And this story about her emails, not even significant. The stories in the media about Donald Trump being the pig that he is, that shows something about his character, which is relevant. But if they really wanted to take Donald Trump apart and show what a scum he is, they could show his financial history. There's a reason he hides his financial documents. He's one of these rich crooks that's made his way on the backs of the poor tax-paying people. That's why he's claimed bankruptcy so many times. For people who don't understand what bankruptcy is, it's used by rich people to be bailed out by the poor, working class people. You wonder where all of our taxes go. Goes to the rich, and that's who these people represent. So if you learn the language of gematria, you can see what's being coded into the headlines. FBI reviews new emails equals 93, just like the word propaganda, just like the year Hillary became first lady when her husband Bill Clinton, the 42nd president, became president, 93. FBI reviews new emails. And the story is the connection to Anthony Weiner through his wife, who is a former employee of Hillary Clinton. This woman right here, this is why the investigation's being reopened. Her name is Huma Abedin. I might have mutilated her name, but the gematria of it is 42. And if you've been following my work, what have I been saying? All the women who are the accusers of Trump for sexual misconduct, all of their names code to 33 and 42. Of course, it's in part a parallel to Bill Clinton and his sexual misconduct, while the 42nd president, 42 is also the number of the Freemasons. Freemason equals 42. The Freemasons believe in divide and conquer, order out of chaos, staging propaganda to divide people, to create a commotion that creates a narrative. 42, also a relevant number to women. Female equals 42, lady 42. That word for a female dog, 42. Her birth numerology, the day she was born, date with 130 numerology. Washington equals 130. 58, like Freemasonry. Washington also equals 58. This woman works in Washington, D.C. 40 birth numerology, like Hillary. Hillary equals 40, so does email. All this Hillary email business. Also born on a date with 111 numerology, the New York number. Hillary and Anthony Weiner, both former senators in New York. It was August 29th it came out that Anthony Weiner, the former husband of this woman, who used to work for Hillary Clinton, this woman, Donald Trump, when this news came out, said that her husband was a pervert. That became the big news story for the day, Anthony Weiner and Donald Trump's remarks. Notice they code fight gets ugly. Gematria of 67, female equals 67, International Women's Day, the 67th day of the year. Hillary Clinton declared her campaign at age 67. Time magazine called it the perfect age for a woman to run for president. Notice the emphasis on the word perv. The word perv has gematria of 61, and from this day that this news happened to yesterday's news, I'll just show you this real quick so you can see this. This news came out August 29th, 2016. The news about Anthony Weiner being connected to Hillary Clinton and the email investigation coming back up, that was yesterday, October 28th. That's a date with 61 numerology, and the word perv in gematria. I'm talking too fast, Truth Seeker. Sometimes I do that. The word perv in gematria equals 61. It's a span of 61 days from the date Donald Trump called him a perv until the date this story came up, you know? You see how they do this? It's all scripted. Donald Trump's going out and delivering his puppet lines. They say, hey, Donald, make sure you call him a perv. You know, maybe they don't tell him in 61 days the next part of the story is going to come, but this is how it's done. That's why the word's emphasized. This is how our news is scripted every single day when you decode it. So here were the headlines also that day from CNN, the same day. Donald Trump called him a perv. Weiner, his wife, separating. In gematria, that sums to 111, like her birth numerology, like New York, like the name William Jefferson Clinton. Bill Clinton's full name, Hillary's husband, who was born William Jefferson Blythe. His biological father died. His mother remarried into the Clinton family that are from New York, the original governors of New York, Clintons. The date of this news, it was also a date with 73 numerology, August 29th, 2016. 73 numerology, Hillary Clinton equals 73. I was pointing out then how all of this was connected. He was connected to her. She was connected to Hillary. Stories by the numbers, planned narrative. For all you conservative right-wingers who call the media liberal, that's something I've always laughed at. The media is not liberal or conservative. It's corporate. It's propaganda. It's divide and conquer. It's bullshit. All you conservatives who think the media is scripted or not scripted, but just so biased for the liberals, do you guys pay attention to how many conservative news networks there are? And what is conservative and liberal at this day and age anyway? I just hear the same people saying the same rhetoric. Oh, the liberal media. How is the media liberal? The media is just bullshit. But it's not any more favorable for the Democratic side than the Republican side. It just plays both sides against each other. I've never liked either side. I've just always seen things the way they are. Watch people argue over bullshit. You know? Does this seem like a liberal media thing to you? You know, sabotaging the Democratic candidate just before the election with a story like this? Does it seem liberal to you when they tanked John Kerry, who was just another doofus stooge puppet with the, what did they call that? Something boats for the Vietnam War. That commercial campaign they ran that tanked John Kerry's campaign in 2004. People just see things the way they want to see them instead of seeing things the way they are. The media is bullshit. An agenda, that's what it is. Not liberal, not conservative. Here's Joe Biden weighing in on it. I'm not a big fan. These remarks are with regards to him and Weiner. I'm not a big fan. Notice the coding again, 111. We got a Trump from New York versus Hillary New York election. Show you something else about this guy. In this article here, he talked about how he could have beat Hillary for president if he wanted to, but he didn't want to because he wanted to relax because of his son's death. His son died at age 46. 174 days before Joe Biden's birthday. That's the New World Order number. The United States of America, a New World Order nation, which is a Masonic Zionist world order. His son died at age 46, 174 days before Joe Biden's 73rd birthday. The word sacrifice equals 46 and 73. Joe Biden's first family, his wife and daughter, died in a car crash on a date with 73 connections in a 73 location just before he became a congressman. His first family dead in a car accident just before his political career began, and I guarantee you that's no coincidence. These people who are our politicians, they're the sickest people. Joe Biden probably had his latest son, Beau Biden, murdered for his continued political success. With regards to that 174 number, here was the Daily Mail's headline about Weiner yesterday. Undone by Weiner. Undone by Weiner, 174, just like New World Order. People code their numbers all the time. Go back and watch my video on the signing of the TPP on the 174th meridian. More headlines from yesterday. Clinton wants answers. We were just talking about 174. 74 is the number of Freemasonry. Clinton wants answers, 74. Masonic, 74. Jewish, 74. Occult, 74. New York City on the 74th meridian. Yesterday's date was 74 numerology. Down below, it emphasizes that she wants the complete facts on emails. That has the same gematria as Donald Trump. You know, this propaganda, it's all about the back and forth teeter-totter in the media between Trump and Hillary. Trump, you know, low character, kind of a clown. Hillary can't handle her emails. This is what people are supposed to vote on. Clinton calls on FBI to release full and complete facts. Emphasis on full and complete facts. Gematria of 73, like Hillary Clinton, like extraordinary. Earlier in the day, there was a headline emphasizing extraordinary. Forget what article I had that in. But it was a day of 73 emphasis. Again, when this story first broke out, it was a date with 73 numerology. You know? All part of the script. Oh, I guess it was down here in this Undone by Weiner. They had emphasized extraordinary. There it was. I knew it was there. So here's the last thing to show you about Anthony Weiner and the time this is all coming up. Notice he was born on the date, September 4th, 1964. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York equals 223, like Masonic, like the Synagogue of Satan, the name for the false Jews. Anthony Weiner, Jewish. Jewish, 74. This was a date with 74 numerology. He was born in the year 64. Israel equals 64. Zion, 64. Thelema is the occult religion, very much connected to Israel. Thelema, 64. Their motto is do what thou wilt, which equals 64, just like Synagogue of Satan. The date he was born, a date with 96 numerology like Freemason, a date with 33 numerology like Federal, Clinton, Masonry, Secrecy. Also a date with 77 numerology, Washington, D.C. on the 77th meridian. He was born September 4th, a date that can be written 9/4. His full name is Anthony David Weiner, gematria of 94 like his birthday. From his birthday to the day of the news was 54 days, the baseball number, and this was just before the World Series game in Chicago. Hillary Clinton, a Cubs fan from Chicago. 54, the baseball number. 54 outs in a complete game, which yesterday's game went. Cubs losing at home. It's political baseball. The reason the Cubs are in the World Series right now is because Barack Obama, the Chicago-based president, closing out his final term. Hillary Clinton from Chicago, very likely the next president. Unless they're going to surprise us and throw in the Trump. I have a video on why they would do that to us. Divide and conquer. Accelerated. This man's full name in simple English gematria sums to 211, the 47th prime number. Another special number, the reflection of 74. His last name, Weiner, has gematria of 74, like Masonic, like Jewish, like yesterday's date, getting shamed by the numbers. Again, people, if you're getting caught up in these narratives, if you think Hillary really has body counts, if you think Donald Trump, you know, really all these women are coming out of honesty against him, you're not getting it. If it's in the news, it's part of the propaganda, it's part of the agenda, it's part of the show. I'm sure Donald Trump is a pig. I know Hillary Clinton's a liar and a real criminal, a warmonger, like so many people in our government. But getting caught up in these false narratives, getting caught up in the narrative and then deciding you're going to invest in the other evil side. I mean, that's exactly what the powers that be want. So all of you who do that, I'm showing you what you're getting played by. These are all lies by the numbers, by your Freemasons who run your nation. It's been Freemasons from the beginning up to the present, same tactics all throughout history. War nation, propaganda nation, deception nation. We need to make sure as a people this is the last election ever like this. We need to take this world back from the tyrants. Until next time.